By the end of this video, you guys are going to know exactly why I took this trade, exactly why I found that direction, how I found that direction, how I got my entry, literally everything to the T. So I'm literally giving you guys my strategy completely. So all you got to do is just take notes and listen. So let's get right into it. So this trade was the trade that I took on Thursday. And as you can see by the title of the thumbnail, I called it the riskiest trade because it was right before news. But the only reason I took this trade, I literally never take a trade before news. But the only reason I took it is because of the confluences that were behind this trade, and I was very confident behind it. So, and I was also willing to take the loss. If I would have got stopped out, I would have got stopped out. But let's get right into it. So let's delete everything, and I'll literally show you guys how I had my chart from scratch to take this trade. So we'll literally go into my mindset from scratch. So first things first, let's actually start from here. So Thursday, let's right here. So 8:30, let's do that. So this is literally what we're presented with when we come to sit down to do our analysis to trade New York session. We sit down at 8:30, and I literally sit down at 8:30, do my analysis, and then by 9 o'clock I'm already ready to take a trade when it presents itself. So but the only reason I took this trade, like I said, is because there was so much confluence behind it, and you will see right now why we took it. So let's get right into it. So if we're trading on Thursday, the first thing I do is mark my highs and lows of days. So if I'm trading on Thursday, my high and low of day is going to be coming from Wednesday, and it's going to be the highest and lowest point from Frankfurt to New York session. I also have other videos covering this, exactly my exact rules over this in detail in another video. So if you're not too sure the rules about this, make sure you check that video out. So this is our high of day right here, our low of day down here. So pretty much it's just the highest and lowest points between Frankfurt to New York session. So high of day, low of day down here. And I do this on M5 time frame because it is the most precise time frame to do it on. So we're trading here on Thursday. We have our high and low of day coming from Wednesday. And then we're going to mark our previous highs and previous lows of days, which is going to be coming from 2 previous trading days that we're trading from. So if we're trading on Thursday, it's going to be on Tuesday. And same rules, the highest and lowest point between Frankfurt to New York session. So it's going to be this right here, the highest point right here, previous high of day, and then previous low of day. And these points are very specific. Like the market uses these areas a lot in confluence with areas of supply and demand. If you guys have seen my other videos, look at it right here. So pretty much the previous high of day, you can see how Asia just taps this area right here, and you can see that this is where the volume came in for this pullback. Like they're very specific areas that the market respects, so that's why we mark them, and you'll see that right now. So literally exactly, you see it right here. We got this volume coming in from this previous high of day, and then this previous low of day, you're going to see that the news drove price right off of it. So, and it's in confluence with the other area of demand that we're going to do right now, that we're going to see right now. So after we have our highs and lows marked, we're going to do a top-down analysis. So we'll start off from the daily and we'll break this down. So check this out, guys. So if we're working on the daily, right, we're analyzing this, we can see that we have this huge push to the downside, and this is the current area of supply that we're working with. This area right here, this previous contrary candle before the push, is our area of supply that gives us this push to the downside. And then you can see how we haven't touched it here, we haven't touched it here, and that's literally the next target for price, the main target for price. I'm expecting price to touch this area here, and then we'll get a nice pullback. So now that we have that marked on the daily, check this out on the H4. You can see literally how clean this looks. So notice how pretty much this huge push to the upside right here pulled back, but it pulled back into this area of demand right here, right? This previous contrary candle that gave us a push to the upside. You can see how specific these areas of supply and demand are. We literally touch it to the wick, and then you can see we're pushing up. But where are we pushing up to? To this area of demand, of supply on the daily. So if we're pushing up to this area of supply, notice how we're just respecting areas of demand. Notice how this area that created this huge push to the upside, literally that broke everything here, that's the same area that price pulled back to continue the move. And then now I'm gonna just highlight this so you guys can see how specific these areas are. So notice how price used this area right here, pretty much, or I'll do it with a line so you guys could just see it. So notice how pretty much price created this area of demand, push to the upside, pulled back to the previous contrary candle, push to the upside, same thing, an area of demand right here, same thing, we pull back here. We're pulling back to this is on H4, so we're probably pulling back to an H1 right here to be more specific, but you guys can see how we're pulling back to continue to the upside. So keeping this in mind right here, now on H4, in reality, what we have is this. This is the key sauce right here. So I was going off topic a little bit, but notice this. This is the key point right here for what we're dealing with for the direction of the day. So notice how we're presented with this right here, this previous contrary candle right here. So this is sauce, guys. Pay attention right here. This is actually very key. So I don't think I've gone over this in my other YouTube videos. So we have our direction right here, right, on the higher time frame on the daily, which is this area right here that you see on the mouse that I'm pointing at. But we also have this area of supply that was created on H4 that gives us this push, but this push was only to a pullback to continue to move to the upside. So what's going to happen? Price uses these areas here to just give a pullback. So something like this. Price will do something like this. We'll get a reaction off this area because it's still a valid area of supply or demand, but then price, after we get our nice pullback from it, will continue to the actual target. So these areas here that are created to give pullbacks, you just have to keep in mind that you're going to get a pullback off of that same area, and then we'll continue to the actual target. So keeping that in mind, the first target for price is this area right here on H4, filling this void right here to that we left going to the downside. So on two things, we're bullish, right? This is our main target on the daily, just on a higher time frame, and we also have this void right here on H4 to fill in to hit this first main target on H4. So not the main target, because the main target is the daily. I mean to say the first target is going to be the H4 one. And notice how the H4 is in confluence with H1. Here we're on H1. Notice H1 right here, the H4 is right here. So if we just go to H4, notice the previous contrary candle is right here. This is what I mean by confluence. And then on H1, the previous contrary candle is just a few pips away from it. So that's confluence right here. So very likely we're going to fill this void right here, get a reaction, a pullback to continue to the upside. So keeping all this in mind, check this out now. So now we do this. So notice this area of, okay, so notice this area of supply, of demand right here. Right here, this previous contrary candle before this push in confluence with this previous low of day. So this candle right here in confluence with the low of day. That's a key factor that I'm telling you guys right here. That's a strong area supply or demand whenever they're in confluence with the highs or lows of days. So keeping this in mind right here, check this out. This is sauce, guys. So please pay attention. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, because I'm dropping some heat for you guys. So keeping all this in mind, that we're bullish, right? Price is bullish, and we're gonna fill this void right here. This is on M15. So we're just gonna fill this void right here to the H1 target, right? So notice where we're at right here. It's a very, very high probability area that price is going to continue the bullish move from this area. Why? This is why. I'm going to tell you right now. So notice how the previous low of day, right here, is in confluence with this area of demand on M15, and which is also in confluence with this area of demand on H1. Same case as the one from above, that's H1 and H4. Here we have H1 and 15 and our previous low of day in confluence. So we have this strong area of demand. Price is just tapping it right here, right before news. So literally right before news is about to come in. We're tapping this area. So now we could identify that we're bullish. We're coming off of this area of demand. We just have to get an entry confirmation. So what was my entry confirmation? It was this right here, which I'm not going to lie, guys. It's literally the riskiest trade I've ever taken because it's literally right before New York session, and it was right before news. But like I said, I was willing to take the loss of it if it didn't play out. But as you guys can see, it was a very high probability trade. So check this out. Once price touches this previous low of day at 8:17, this is literally 13 minutes before news, we're touching this very solid high probability area of demand. Notice what price does. We get this M1 confirmation. So price touches this area exactly. We get this push to the upside, and then price creates this new area of demand on M1. This is just an M1 confirmation. So right there. But you can see price didn't touch this area here. So when price created this area right here, this area here, right there, I entered in this pullback right here. My entry was literally right here, somewhere right there, with a 1 to 2. So this was literally what I was just shooting for. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys know that I close majority of my trades 1 to 2. People ask me, yo, why the hell do you do that? But I just do it because it's a system that works. If I literally win I just have to win 5 trades out of 10, and I'm profitable, if that makes sense. But my win rate is literally like a 60-70% win rate. Sometimes it's like lower, higher, like 60 to 70. But just keeping that in mind, if you're trading a 1 to 2 risk to reward, you could literally lose 5 trades and you win the next 5 and you're still profitable. So that's really why I do it. It just makes sense. And if you guys saw, I made 23% in 1 month, literally just closing 1 to 2s. Like, it's a system that's proven to work. So now that we got all the good sauce down, we have our direction on H4, we have our area of demand here on H1 in confluence with our previous low of day. We have literally our entry confirmation on M1. So we enter and let's see what news does. Boom. Look at this. It's literally as soon as news comes in, the volume goes into the upside. But notice where the volume is coming from. This is the key to what I was telling you guys. From the previous low of day in confluence with this area of demand. So that's the sauce. That's why it's literally the first thing I do when I sit on the chart is mark the highs and lows, because that's a key concept in my strategy. I literally have my strategy for free here on YouTube. All you gotta do is watch my videos and dissect them. And there's people that literally have my strategy, and I know they have it because they tell me. So you guys are seeing how pretty much we got our entry confirmation on the lower time frame. This area of demand, how we got our direction, and then notice what New York did. If I wouldn't have took this entry, notice what price does right here. So check this out. This is key right here as well. So actually, let me do this on M5. Let's fast forward. So the rest of the New York session will break it down, right? Let me see where it ends. Okay, right there. So check it out. Let's just say I didn't take this entry right here. There was literally like no other clean entry for the buy. Literally notice how the actual bullish move was coming off of this area here. Yes, I closed 1 to 2. But whoever, like, based off my strategy, you literally could have just held to the high of day as the first main target, and you could have easily got a 1 to 5 off of this, like off of